What did Skip Bayless say about Sophie Cunningham, sports analyst under spotlight for clout chaser comment? The public dispute between Indiana Fever player Sophie Cunningham and sports analyst Skip Bayless intensified on Thursday as he openly called out the WNBA player. By bringing up Caitlin Clark, who is reportedly experiencing a mind-boggling slump, he accused Soph of clout chasing. The comments came after the WNBA star referred to his justification for Caitlin Clark's extended absence as BS on her new podcast. The sports commentator further reportedly made controversial comments regarding Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark's season with the Indiana Fever. Skip Bayless calls Indiana Fever's Sophie Cunningham a clout chaser amid Caitlin Clark injury debate. Indiana Fever star Sophie Cunningham recently criticized Skip Bayless for claiming that the WNBA and the Fever were reportedly lying about the true cause of Caitlin Clark's injury. She made the comments in a recent episode of her Show Me Something podcast. In an episode of the Skip Bayless Show, he later replied to Soph's remarks. He began by condemning the WNBA player and pointing out that no one knew her in Phoenix. He further said that she gave mediocre performance in her first 6 WNBA seasons. He then alleged that Soph is a crafty person who capitalized on being sold to the Indiana Fever by using Caitlin Clark's enormous popularity to develop her own fan base. He thus said, "She quickly befriended Caitlin. That was smart, and then she assumed the role of Caitlin's on-court and in interviews defender and protector, or public defender. Did that ever quickly endear her to Caitlin's billions of fans out there? Then, with the spotlight shining on Sophie 100 times better than ever before, she started making grand entrances into arenas, wearing spicy outfits, some of them provocative and very cool," he later continued. "Of course Sophie ripped me. Even though, Sophie, that wasn't a criticism. Of course, Sophie was very careful not to mention what I prominently mentioned on my podcast, and that's Caitlin's mind-boggling shooting slump." Sophie Cunningham fires back at Skip Bayless over Caitlin Clark injury comments. Skip Bayless initially questioned Caitlin Clark's extended absence due to injury, which sparked the argument between the two. The guard has had 3 different injuries this season, the most recent of which kept her out for more than a month. Sophie Cunningham then criticized Skip Bayless in an August 19th episode of her Show Me Something podcast. This is because he claimed that the WNBA and the Fever were lying about the real extent of Caitlin Clark's injuries. Talking about Bayless' comments, Cunningham said, "Dude, that's literally be asterisk-like. No one is lying." The host then quoted some of Bayless' comments, saying, "Maybe Caitlin Clark is taking a couple injury breaks, just because she needed a mental break from all the jealousy and resentment and bullying and cheap shots." Soph responded, "Okay, here's the thing. When you're an elite-level player, not being able to play is the hardest part. Mentally, physically, emotionally, so when people say stuff like that, it's just, shut up." Bud fans also refer to Sophie Cunningham as Caitlin Clark's enforcer, and she once again defended her teammate, this time off the court. Meanwhile, unfortunately, Cunningham's MCL injury will keep him out for the rest of the season. That means that she will be off the court for a long period.